Okay, so this video is just going to be really short how to use Google spreadsheets as a calculator, because that's one of its best functionalities. So, real quick, in case you don't know, you as a Northeast ISD student have a Google Suite account. And when if you are logged in, or I guess even if you're not really logged in, you can still probably use this. This little thing, it's often referred to as a waffle, this little grid for Google Apps. If you click on that, one of your options should be Google Sheets. If you're not logged in, you may not see it right away, but it looks like this. And when you find it and open up a new spreadsheet, it'll look very boring, just a bunch of cells. Nothing to it, right? So, in our class in statistics, we do a lot of calculations with a lot of numbers in one go, and oftentimes we want to see graphs and visual representations of that sort of thing. So, if you're at home and you're asked to look at a histogram of a bunch of numbers, and you don't have this guy handy because they're expensive, then what you can do instead is, for a lot of the things that you're trying to do, you can use Google Spreadsheets and you can get most of your work done. So I'll just generate a random list of numbers, right? So it doesn't really matter how big right now, right? That one's probably too big. Let's say you're 12. All right. So I got a random list that's 25 digits long. Not really important, right? Let's say I want to calculate the mean and standard deviation of, this list of numbers, right? I could do that very easily. Just like in the Google search bar, if you start off by typing an equal sign, then anything you type after that, it's going to assume it's part of some equation or some formula. So if I type average, and then open parentheses, and then I click on the column that has all my numbers in it, then it'll tell me the average of my numbers. Apparently the average of this 25 number list is 24.48, right? And if I want to do the standard deviation, I can do the same thing, equals, I type an equal sign, and then I type avdev, I think, on the same list, average deviation. Oh, I typed it wrong. Maybe it's that. Yeah, there it is. Go on. Brilliant. And it gives me the average standard deviation. And that's awesome. Let's say maybe instead I want to, have a histogram, right? That's also super easy on this, tool. I just click on the numbers. I probably don't even have to click on the numbers. But I click on the column that has all my numbers in it, and I click Insert Chart. And it'll default to this, which is useless, to be honest. We don't really use these. But I can change the type of chart it is by going to Chart Type, and then I use histogram a lot, so histogram is one of my suggested options, but if you haven't used it a lot, you might have to scroll down to Other, and you can see histogram chart among some other things. I don't know what a waterfall chart is used for, but yeah. And you see this one, it has a histogram. It's got 4 columns, 5 spaces for a column, and each bin is 15 or 16 units big. I can customize this. I can change my chart. For histograms especially, the bucket size is super important if you want to get a lot of information. Obviously, having a bucket size of 1 may not be that helpful, but maybe a bucket size of 5 could be a little more useful. And the nice thing about this is, let me close this. Once you're done here, I can scoot that over. If I add more numbers to my column with all my stuff in it, it'll add some in the 25 range, right? Or 20 to 25 range. Get some values there. Oh wait, we don't have any heights. Right, I just add some numbers, and then I scroll up, and I see that it's added that to that. Now that it's changed my average and my standard deviation to match the numbers that I've added on my list. So I can set this all up based on not a whole lot of information, and then I can add as I go. Now, the cool part is about this, it's got a whole bunch of the functions for everything math and statistics related, and you can click on statistical, and here's all of the different things that you can do. AvDev being the one that I couldn't remember earlier, average being the one that we did a second ago. But I see I have binomial distribution probabilities. I can do chi-squared. I can do confidence intervals from normal and confidence intervals from normal distributions. All sorts of useful things. So if I don't, if you're at home and you're working on homework, you got your homework problem set from online, maybe you don't, what is this? Pearson. So, oh, percentile, there you go. Maybe you don't have a calculator handy, but you have access to Google. You can pretty much do everything you possibly need to do.